So here is the official intro. You guys, welcome to our mastermind call for June. Holy baloney, you guys. Like, we're halfway through 2018. And you know what's really special? Can we just like center this all in? I don't know if any of you have any crystals. Like, I've got all the crystals surrounding me.
Oh, yeah.
But like, hold on.
As big as my head.
Excellent.
That's literally just my rose quartz and my smoky quartz. Like, I'm gonna love and ground.
I love it.
That's all.
I've got my black tourmaline. Is that how you say that?
What I
Yeah,
wanted
black
to
tourmaline.
ask you tonight. Is that what it is? Black tourmaline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you tonight, so I'm glad that you mentioned that, Jill.
Yeah. It's a really good grounding one. So I was like freaking, if I could have swallowed this today, I would have. If I could have gotten closer to the center of my soul, I literally would have swallowed it. So welcome to our call. Thank you for being here. And this is what I was going to say is, you guys, we've done the first half of this year together.
Wow.
Think about that. Isn't that amazing?
My happy dance.
Right? Like, it's just so powerful, so powerful. And I want you just for a moment to think, and let's do this. Let's give ourselves a moment. Like, just think about where you were in January. And how far you've come. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I did just share, and just to give you guys like a quick recap, because I know some of you hopped on. I have spent my entirety of my day today journaling, meditating, clutching to crystals like for dear life, because I experienced some swirliness that came out of a place of people assuming that I was swirly, and I wasn't. I was just asking I was trying to get a clarifying question, but it was so good because I got the answer to my question, but I also got the huge opportunity to heal other stuff that was within me. And that feels really powerful, but it would not have come without giving myself the space to do the work. And you guys know, I mean, that inner soul work. It's easy, you guys. It is easy. I could have plowed through today. But I would have shown up as a shell of a freaking human tonight. And that wouldn't have been fair to you. It wouldn't have been fair to you. It wouldn't have been fair to me. It was not an option for me to show up in a state of still super unease, super like, I even had like that feeling in your tummy where it's like, oh, it just doesn't feel good. I had it all day, and I worked on it, and I worked on it, and I worked on it. I was having Voxer conversations with really good friends, like, who know me in that space, like circle of trust, right? And like, we're able to like present stuff to me and help me to work through it still. And I'm a verbal person, so the journaling is super pivotal to my soul, but actually talking it out helps me have continued realizations. So I share all that with you guys because it legit like was all of my work time today. And then after the kids went down tonight, I beelined back to my office because there was still some stuff that needed to come out. And I'm so grateful that I did. And I'm so grateful for this space to be able to, I mean, let's call it what it is. Like, I am all of your coach. You all invest in yourselves by way of me, right? Like, that's a huge deal. And so the energetic exchange, I feel, in my way of functioning, needs to be respectful on all accounts. And that's also sharing with you when I'm going through stuff like that, and like having my own human experiences with things, and what I'm doing to show you guys that like I'm literally practicing what I preach. Like, I'm not telling you to do a visualization and then go journal on things and then not doing it myself. Like, it's happening. And it's just really powerful because now I literally, like I said at the beginning, like, I feel really free right now. I poured myself a glass of wine, and I was not going to, actually. I told myself, like, because, you know, sometimes we'll show up with wine or tea or sparkling water or whatever. But I was like, you know, it's the middle of the year. Like, I did the big announcement for Kate tonight, like celebratory for that. Like, I'm heading into a fun weekend, a bachelorette party for my best friend. So it's kind of just like a fun like time. I just wanted a glass of wine, but I promised myself that if I still hadn't like gotten to the core of it, there would be no wine tonight, because I didn't want anything to like get in the way of me and my feelings at all, or like enhance, right? And just make it seem that much bigger. So it was kind of ceremonial that I could pour myself the glass of wine and feel really good and come here and just be able to talk with you guys about it. So that's what I've got going on. I've got big stuff happening in my life in terms of next level opportunities, up leveling opportunities. And it's no coincidence that what happened this week, the feelings that I feel, the situations that I was like, wait, like I feel super misunderstood right now, or like my words are construed. Like, it's okay that all happened, because it was meant to, so that I could release some stuff. So that's an invitation to you guys now to, when you're feeling it, we're right here, right? It's the safe space for all of it. So do your work and then lean in when you need us. And if nothing else works, maybe swallow a crystal. So thank you for letting me share. If you guys have thoughts or comments, then I'm welcome, or you're welcome to share them, or I'm definitely open to hearing them. But I'd love to hear what's going on for you guys too, since that's why we're here.
Must be that kind of week. I don't know, but I'm in the same place. Like, I've been journaling and meditating and hanging on to my crystals.
Tell us what's going on.
Well, I didn't mean to like.
No.
Oh.
Your first sister. And I got your email too, by the way, but I got it like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I didn't write it until today. Yeah, so all kinds of stuff is going on. Oh my God, I just sat down. I'm like, so I lost my biggest client.
Oh, like passed?
It's fine. Oh, she didn't die. She moved into assisted living today, which was a fiasco. But anyways, so she's my big client, and I, her like the first day, that it was like last Thursday or something, and so I was like, no problem, I'll fill that back up. And then Uncle Lloyd's gotten better, which is great, but he's like, I don't know if I need somebody all the time. I can drive again. And then I'm like, oh my God, my business is gonna fail. I'm gonna have to like be a waitress. So I started to freak out. I don't really think that, but I was just like, oh, it's all going bad. How could all these people counting on me? Well, then on Saturday, I was just like, I'm going to raise my energy. I told Donna, because I talked to her.
And you did?
Yeah, and I did. And I got Saturday morning, I was just like, I'm going to be like practice gratitude. I'm going to meditate, and I'm just going to put a smile on my face, and I'm going to turn this around. Well, on Saturday morning, I had 3 new clients. So it worked.
That's awesome.
I know. I was like, Dave, you're going to do this. Would you start smiling? You're going to get stuff. So, yeah, so that worked. So Saturday afternoon, I met the new client. The other 2 are temporary, but one's for like 6 weeks. And the other one is very temporary, just one day, helping her to move into a senior community. So, but then I have another client that's totally falling apart, and she should be in a memory loss part of where she lives, but the family's dead set against it. So now they want us like 50, 60 hours a week, more like they want us from 10:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday. So I'm like, sure. Now I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was going to go out of business, and now I got to scramble. And my desk is like, it's just and my chart, if you saw my whiteboard, you'd be like, what? A mess. I don't know. I just promised somebody, I just told somebody something that I totally can't do, but it's okay. I straightened it out. But I'm like, what the heck? So things are just crazy, and everything's like in flux. I have like all my clients that are circled. So like out of like half of my clients are temporary, making changes. They don't know what they want. And it's kind of driving me nuts not to like be like, okay, this is how things are going to be now. I just feel like so like frazzled and I don't know, not settled. But I'm just kind of starting to just go, okay, I'm just going to go with this. I'm just going to tell everybody this is all temporary. We're just going to have to be flexible. So that's my plan.
How does that feel?
Better. I mean, like, it didn't feel good a couple days ago. I was like, no, I can't do this like this. This is not, I don't know what's happening and I don't like this. I feel uncomfortable and just not stable. But I'm just trying to just kind of, I'm going to sit down. I got everybody like straightened out for the next day, Friday, and then Saturday, not much is happening. I have like one person that I have to help get to a client, long story, but that's just like an hour. And then, so Saturday and Sunday, I have to figure it all out and then contact everybody and try to get them all in the right place at the right time. So, so that I feel better.
Good.
I feel better. I was just on the phone for like 2 hours when I got home trying to tell everybody what to do. So, so that's better. And in the meantime, on Wednesday, Dave took me to his BNI. Do you guys all know what BNI is? Yeah, I think it's really good. I was very impressed. And Dave's gotten a lot of business out of it. And I know people get tons of business out of it. And so I went on Wednesday to the Saco one. And I was going to join, but Saco's not my area, even though I'll expand, but it's not my favorite because there's not as much wealth and, like here in Kennebunk and Portland, and, I've got my places that I really know that there's plenty of people with lots of money I never really get much business in Biddeford, Saco. So I talked to a girl but I got my son's old coach is a big deal in BNI there in Saco. He's a real estate person. And so I talked to him and he invited me to the Kennebunkport Rotary meeting to talk all about my services.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the Rotary meeting. And so that's great. And he knows everybody. He was like head of Little League and he's big in town. So that's great. And I also I talked to somebody that Dave knows also, who runs the Cultural and Heritage Center in Biddeford, and she needs people to go interview elderly people that used to work in the mill, like back in the 1930s. And so I'm going to do that. So that's cool because that's going to help me practice for my book. Right?
That is so exciting.
Excited about that. I think they're even going to pay me maybe. So, not much, but yeah, but I get to go interview elderly people who worked in the mill. It's, people like of Irish descent and French descent and everything, but also she wants me to interview a few immigrants in Biddeford, like one guy's from Iraq and one's from Vietnam and another one from, I can't remember, but that's cool too. I love other cultures and people from other countries. I just love to talk to people from other countries. So I said, yeah, I'll do that too. So yeah, I'm going to get to do all that. So that's huge. It's just what I need to do to practice.
Yeah. Well, and so this, actually, can you guys hear me? Because I just realized that my microphone is over there. But so one cool thing that I've learned lately, and I wanted to share with you guys tonight, this is the perfect time to do it. And all of you may know this instinctually to be true, but it's cool putting words to it. So my friend Tori Doobie taught me about this concept, and it's super simple, but picture two lands or two places, abundance land and lack village, right? And so when we're stuck and the place in between is called stuck, right? It's nothing's really that bad, but nothing's really that great either, right? So to get to abundance land, everything that you could ever possibly want is in abundance land, and all the negative things ever, disease, sickness, anything bad is in lack village. So whatever you want is in abundance land, and it actually doesn't matter how you get your ticket. It's just a matter of getting there, because once you're there, you're open and available to all the things that are there. So for you, Danielle, it's like that brings you joy, right? Like thinking about that, having those interviews, posting about it, like that brings you joy. Joy is the quickest ticket to abundance land. And it doesn't matter what the cause was, what the cause for it was. And it doesn't need to be directly related to the thing that you want. So say you want $100,000, you don't have to grind doing your job trying to make the money. You could paint, right? If painting was your thing, or you could sing, if singing was your thing that brought you joy and made you feel abundant. As long as you get there, it doesn't matter the avenue. So for you, Danielle, it's like, if that is going to bring you joy, then it's going to bring you to abundance land, and all that's available there will be at your disposal. And disposal probably isn't a good word because that's kind of a lack word, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, so if this is going to bring you joy and it's going to bring you to abundance land, then also simultaneously your business, should you want it to, will start exploding. Maybe people will come into your life that are meant to be there because you're in abundance land and that's where they live. Isn't that cool?
I like that.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, so yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, like, I just thought, like, I just had a day or two of just like, oh crap, everything's gonna go wrong now. But then I was like, no, I'm not gonna think that way. Where I might have stayed in that for 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
It only took 2 days, and then I got myself out of it. But the other thing is, my big thing that I was thinking yesterday was like, when I went to the BNI, I just felt so. I know I'm a professional and I own a business and I'm just the same as everybody else, but I still felt like, oh, this is too big, like not too big a deal, but like, this is a huge, big step for me. Like if I take this BNI thing on, I'm going to have to like meet with all these different people and refer people. And I'm going to have to like step it up and be like a responsible member of the community. Like not like just me, like this person that, you know, kind of like, I'm kind of anonymous now. Now I'm going to have to be not anonymous, and people, they're going to expect things from me. And so then when I went to the Kenny, so anyways, I got invited. So I said to somebody there, well, what about Kennybunk? You know, that's my area. And they said, well, we just started a chapter in Kennybunk. You'd be like a founding member if you joined in Kennybunk. And we only have like 6 members right now, but we're going to grow it and it's going to turn into this big thing like the Saco one. Like in Maine, they've brought in, through referrals, they've brought in $17 million for each other in the state, just in the state of Maine in 1 year. So that's huge. Nice. So, and so I went, so Melinda, this girl that was there, she said, why don't you come to the Kennybunk one tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I will, maybe sometime. She's like, no, you should really come tomorrow because you want to save your spot, because they only let in one of each thing. So like one hairdresser, one insurance guy, one chiropractor, one care, you know, senior care business. Mm-hmm. So she said, if it's you, it's you. Nobody else can get in that has senior care in Kennybunk. So I was like, I better do that. So I'm just going to go. So I went and I walked in and I just felt so uncomfortable for some reason, because I was in my hometown and I grew up here and I feel like I'm like, I shouldn't, like, I don't belong here, you know, but I do. So
why do you feel like you don't belong there?
I don't know. Like, it was just one of those, I'm not good enough to be with these people, which is so stupid.
Is it going back to the, I don't want to be a boss, like that?
No, I just felt like not good enough. I don't know. I just got this overwhelming, like, just for a few minutes. And then I was like, Danielle, relax. You're a grown woman. You own a business. You know, you're like these people. I don't know. It's just a weird, insecure, lack of confidence for a few minutes thing. Plus, I don't like to walk into a big room of people that I don't know. So, but everybody was really nice. And the girl who was sitting next to me was just so beautiful. And she just looked so professional. And then when they paired off, they were like, oh, Jessica, who do you want to? She was the big mortgage broker. And she was like, I want to be with Danielle. And I was like, oh, she likes me. So I went and talked to her and she was really cool. And then I met everybody else. And so then I joined. I was like, I'm just going to join this because I've got to, plus they were all super friendly. I think we were all nervous. There was a lot of visitors there. There were like 12 of us. I think everybody's just a little bit on edge. And so I feel good about it now. And I'll be the only care agency that locks out. So I have to go have an interview. It's pretty strict. And it's a big commitment. I have to have like coffee with one person from the group every week. I have to refer one person a week. So it's a lot, but you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Like, that's what I was like last night. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to you guys about like, how am I going to do all this? But I'll do it. So I feel much better today. But,
well, let me ask you that question. How are you going to do it?
I don't know. Same way I do everything, jump in and then figure it out later, I guess.
But maybe from a place of more like, okay, like, I guess like what I am getting at is like, okay, yes, you'll figure it out. You'll get it into your schedule somehow, but like, how will you do it? With your feelings, with your energy, like what excites you about that?
Right. It does. Well, what excites me about it is I'm going to grow my business. I'm like going to another level. You know?
That's it. And
to a community group like that. Before, I just always feel like I'm on my own. You know, like I said, I'm kind of anonymous. I'm not anonymous, but I kind of like do my own thing. And, you know, it's kind of my like a little private company. And now it's like a community thing. Now I have to show up for other people. They're going to be showing up for me. It's really a step up for me. You know, it really is. So, but I want to do that. I want to be proud of myself. At the, 6 more months from now, I want to go, wow, now look what I've done, right?
I think your feelings are just coming because you're like way outside your comfort zone right now, but that's the good thing. Like in your email when you're like, I think I'm up leveling, and now I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, look at this. This is amazing. It's incredible. And as long as it feels good, right, it may be scary as all hell, but as long as like truly you're like, no, I really feel good about doing this, then you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I just always avoided community involvement. Then I'm like to Dave on the phone tonight. I'm like, yeah, I joined BNA and Kennebuck, and I'm going to get so popular with my business. And I'm like, pretty soon they're going to make me mayor of Kennebuck. It's like, we don't have a mayor.
They will soon because it'll be you.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, Danielle, that's so great.
Thanks. Thank you. I'm excited about it. I just feel like I just took a big step, like for me, that was brave to go to that and join and be part of like a big, I don't know, it just feels like a big deal. It just feels like not something I would normally ever do. So yeah.
So proud of you. Does anyone else have anything? Because I'm just like gushing. I just think it's wonderful.
I'd like to say something. I'm familiar with BNI here in Ann Arbor. It's an amazing group. But the thing I love about this is that since you got in on the beginning, it's really great because if you hadn't, well, number one, you're local. And I love the fact that this is a local home care agency. But if you hadn't, I guarantee you within 2 to 3 weeks, there would have been a franchise like Visiting Angels or something like that would have come in. So I feel like it was the universe saying to you, this is exactly where you want to be right now. I really do.
That's what really pushed me to do it. Where don't get locked out,
because these people now, their thing is to help you, and and they've got connections.
Yeah, I feel like I just got a big jump on my two big, the 2 big agencies in town are Home Instead and Comfort Keepers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm friends with the woman from Comfort Keepers. I go out for coffee with her, but she would jump on that in a second.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know about it, I don't think, because she would have already done it. So I got to find out because I went to the Saco and I got to find out, and you have to be invited. So she would have had to be invited. So I got invited by the girl in Saco. Like, I got this opportunity before they even know about it. So I'm psyched. Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So Danielle, keep us posted. Like, be active in the group and let us support you because this is new and it's big and it's like you didn't just like kind of tiptoe outside the comfort zone. Like, you kind of took a big jump, and that's awesome. But this is where literally why you've got the mastermind, so that we can all like envelop you in just like that safe space and like If you're having a freak out moment, we got you. If you're having a celebratory moment, we've got you. Like, just let us help you through this.
I will, because like I was like looking at my closet going, I have no nice clothes. I don't have professional enough clothes. I need to get a haircut. Like, so freaking out.
Can I just say something too on that as sort of like what I got from that? You are not an amateur.
Thank
You're
you.
not.
Exactly.
Oh my God. You are fantastic. You're a professional and you're Danielle. So who cares if you wear professional clothing? That's not you. Be comfortable and be who you are.
Right.
That poor girl sitting next to you in a business suit was probably as uncomfortable as anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know what? The real estate was like in cargo pants and a sweatshirt. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I wanted to just say one more thing. I know that you'll have an opportunity at some point to give a presentation to the group. And when you pull your presentation together, if you let us all know ahead of time, maybe we could meet here and you could do the presentation for us and
That's
practice
right.
with us.
yes, that's right. I will need to practice that. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll give you constructive feedback. We'll tell you what we liked. We'll tell you what you can tweak, like all of the things. And
Well, yeah, that was the other thing. I had to talk. I had to stand up and talk with a microphone for a minute. So I practiced that yesterday. And I have to say, Dave took me to that meeting. I have to say I was better than Dave because he doesn't practice. He just wings it. And he walks in and goes, I think I'll say this. So, but I practiced. I mean, I didn't sound rehearsed. And I didn't have, people were reading, but I don't like to do that. I like to, look like I'm just saying it. So I did with the microphone. I've only talked on a microphone one other time at my Peach Kucha. So I did that and it went well. And then I did the same thing again. I had to speak for another minute this morning. And then I had to stand up and say something unexpected yesterday. And I was just like, okay, they're saying this, I'll say this. So it went okay though. Dave said I did a good job. So yeah.
I know you did. I know you did. You are just so affluent and you're so like natural and is affluent the right word? Like you're easy to speak?
That's
Articulate.
right.
Articulate. No, affluent is
Rich.
Fancy.
well, you are fancy too. But no, you're so articulate and you're just you, Danielle. And it's just, you make everybody feel so good. You make everybody feel like they have a best friend right there because you just make everybody feel so at home. And that's a real superpower. Not everybody has that capability.
Thank you. That's sweet. Thank you. I try to be friendly.
That's why showing up in a business suit doesn't feel like you're at home.
I don't want to
love that.
Like, well, my clothes are ratty. I need new clothes. But they're not. I just didn't do my laundry. Ever.
Or maybe you're just like, hey, let's go out and get a couple new tops to just re-energize, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That is actually, right, Kate? Like, Kate and I talked about that. Sometimes you just have to go out and get yourself a new top and raise your vibrational frequency that way. Like, because it's fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. Plus, I've lost some weight. So I'm going to wait a little longer because I'm going to buy a new size.
Yes. I love it. What a good update, Danielle.
Thanks. I guess I did do a lot of stuff this week.
Yeah, that always happens with you.
I know.
I don't have anything.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you. All right. Keep us posted. Lean in. Let us support you, even like from afar, even like, as you're getting out of your car and you're like, help, like let us be that source for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I will definitely, because this is big for me. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I will.
All right. Fabulous.
Because I feel like when everybody kind of started talking and even Danielle started talking about this week being just really heavy energy wise, like, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I like when Amber just confirms it for us.
100%. And just kind of all the stuff that I've been reading, which is my joy, is just like kind of confirmation of how I'm feeling with June kind of being that 6-month cycle from the start of the year. A lot of things are culminating and coming to an end. And then we have another eclipse season coming up, which is going to be huge energy-wise as well. But it's almost like us being leaders and us doing the work and being, a lot of us being empaths, is we connect our energy to the collective consciousness. And in doing so, that means that we sometimes take on other people's energy. So literally everybody saying they have their black tourmaline, like that's a protection stone. And that pulls, it literally pulls negativity and things that aren't yours from your aura, and it stores it. So you got to make sure you cleanse your black tourmaline often, or else it will do one of these, and it will literally, I had this gorgeous piece, but it's split in half because I wasn't cleansing it often enough apparently. And actually it was Jeremy's, and he was
That's
like,
really
this happened to my black tourmaline, and like, I don't really know. I'm like, yeah, I probably should sage that for you, my bad. But
mine right now.
the energy has been like super, super tough. So for me, I think I am echoing what Jill said for Danielle, like using the group more, because like, I don't want to say I've been struggling, but like, I feel like I've been struggling as far as having energy, just feeling joy. Actually, it's just feeling joy, getting into that place of abundance so that like I can manifest the things that I want and feel good while doing them. Like I have that, my one-to-one client, and it's almost like while I feel accomplished, I don't feel joy and connected. And it's like this game that, not the game you play, but it's like, is that going to come as things start rolling and I feel a little bit more confident? It's like, yeah, like I would assume, but it's also like, why am I not there right now? And trying to give myself space to kind of figure that out, and wondering if it's going to be sort of a pivot moment, or if it's just like, I'm just supposed to have one client right now so that I can get my modules together. And
so dive in a little deeper for us there. What are you not feeling joy with the coaching? Are you not feeling joy with the person? It doesn't feel like a right fit. Are you not feeling joy because you don't feel qualified or prepared? Like, tell us what's going on there.
I think it's like all of it. It's like, even when you were talking about like, it's kind of like it's affecting every sort of facet of my life right now, because even in the beginning of the call when you were like, holy shit, we're halfway through the year kind of thing, and it was like seeing where you are now and where we've come, it was like a bittersweet emotion for me, like didn't feel good, and it was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to go back and like do some more work there, just because I've had so much personal things going on that it's like the business isn't where I assumed it would be, or it's like I felt clear on where I wanted it to be, but I don't know if this client's a super good fit. And I think that's come to the forefront too in doing my module, getting module 1 set for her. It was like this little bit of a clash between feeling like what she needs and versus also what I have to give, and trying to mold those into one. And it was like, well, what I have is what she needs, and we're going to get to what she wants, which is, you know, to really figure out her purpose, which I really think she has already kind of locked down. But it's like, am I doing her a disservice teaching the things that I'm teaching that I think she needs? And it's like, it's just kind of been like weird. So I do have module 1, which I'm going to post up in the group so you guys can take a look and just see what you think about it.
Can I just make a comment, because you're talking a lot about thinking.
Yeah.
Tap back into here. Right? Like, because you're trying to think about 2 things, and I know how that feels. Like, okay, well, what does she need? And like, what do I think that I need to get out there? Because if what do I think that it would look like if I didn't have her, right? So it's a lot of thinking. Like, what if you let it drop into your heart and you created the module from that place?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, I'm not sure. It would almost be just doing more of what she needs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, I don't know. I'd have to kind of write about that, I think, more.
The other thing that came up for me as you were talking, like, what can you do right now to take the pressure off? Like, as you were talking, like, you're coming from all sorts of different angles where I feel like there's pressure everywhere. Pressure to meet her expectations, whatever you perceive they are. They might not even be true, but it's whatever you're feeling. Pressure to prove that you are a good coach, even if she's not maybe your ideal client. Pressure to save her, right? Like, that's one thing that as coaches, we feel the pressure that, oh my gosh, we better get them a transformation, because if not, that's on us. But actually, like, they have to do the work, right? So like that comes into play too. But also, Amber, here's the thing. You are pregnant. That literally throws a curveball, and you want to pretend like it shouldn't, right? Like, that shouldn't matter right now. It does. It throws a curveball into everything. A beautiful one, a wonderful one, but also, like, literally your energy is zapped, not only just physically, but like emotionally too. All of it. It's different now. And it's in that state of like, why doesn't stuff work for me the way it always has? Because literally you are not the same entity that you've always been. So like, it's just like, that's just a really tender reminder to you. Like, it's okay if it's feeling hard, and it's okay if it's feeling like a little bit disjointed, because like, you are also growing a human.
Right.
And that's not an excuse. And people think like, I don't want to make excuses, but right. It's like fucking excuse. Like, that's actually a fact. You are doing that. And it really does make a huge impact for better, even though it doesn't seem it right now, even though you're like, what the hell? Like, why? It is for better. So it's okay.
Yeah. And I've been like putting myself in a good spot by literally just, and what I have always done well is taking a step back and seeing big picture, like just seeing the next 8 months and being like, well, this is what the next 8 months looks like. So literally freaking out now in 3 days is not serving you. Like, it's not doing you any service. So it's just, I think this week's been really busy as well. I have 2 astrology readings on Sunday, which will be sweet. I just need to like sit down and now do their readings. And also I have her call tomorrow, and I did the module, but I'd really like to get the video to go with it up so that she has it. I put it up, like I said, I was able to figure out how to put it up on Squarespace today with a link to the PDF, and then hopefully do the video Saturday morning and get that up so she has it. Yeah, and I think I've just been like I haven't been meditating as much because it's like, oh, well, I can sleep, and oh, well, I need to do this. And like, it's just that not doing those things disconnects you from your joy. So it's like, you know what you need to do. And it's so weird. Like, a lot of the things that the universe has been dropping at me has been super angel based, like very specific angel based. Like, I went to see my Reiki healer, and she suggested a book, Angels in My Hair, which is about a woman who can literally see angels her whole life. And it's talked about both sides of the energy. But like, that's kind of been dropped in my way, like other angel references, which I'm obviously very spiritual, and like, I think of spiritual entities, but not as much like specific angels. So it's just kind of like been a reminder from them, I think, like, also ask us for help. Don't be an idiot. Like, we're always here. Like, and reminding me, like, the first page of the book was talking about how you have a soul and how that's God conscious. I'm like, well, yeah, duh. Like, that's my thing. Like, I just wrote about it in my Sunday email, like, whatever. And then it reminded us how we all have a guardian angel that like literally stays with you all the time. Like, right-hand person.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of work with them over the past few days, and my energy has completely just kind of flipped around. Now it's like, okay, like I was able to finish the module today, and because I worked on it all Sunday and didn't have shit. And I was like, I had a whole day for this.
Don't do that. Writer's block is real. Don't do that to yourself.
Seriously. And I did it, and then I was like, then come Monday, I was like, what just happened? So yeah, I have some journaling and meditating to get back to. Because I think
does that sound exciting to you though?
It feels like work right now because I've let it build up so much. I feel like that there's so much to fucking clear.
You know what though? You just gotta like take the pin to the balloon and do it. So I love the phrase, the remedy to any ill feeling is action. That doesn't mean you have to be a forcing crazy person. That means you just have to do something and do something different and like do the thing, right? Like do the thing that you know that you should do, not should do, you know, I hate the word should, but like do the thing that you know that you really need to do in order to just move things forward.
I think finding something else, doing something different, like going someplace different, like getting out of my shit, like finding something that's actually fun, that's not normal fun or self-care. Like
Caitlin and I were talking about that the other day. I actually like we were talking. I said like, when's the last time you left to do anything just fun? Like left your home, like left where. And I'm not talking work. I'm not talking doctor's appointments. I'm not talking stuff. And so, and because I had to check myself on that too, and it's fascinating when you actually think about it and when you recognize like, oh, I haven't done anything new. I haven't gone anywhere new. And that's huge in terms of energy shifting. It's like, it doesn't matter what train you're hopping on to get to abundance land or whatever it was, like just do it. So one thing that came up for me yesterday, and hopefully this will like get your wheels turning, I was thinking like, what things do I really love to do that I just don't give any time to? And one of them, you guys, is singing. Like I have never in my entire life considered myself a good singer, but I can always think of, right now I could name off like 10 different moments where I was singing and it brought me pure joy for whatever it was. And I've always felt called to it. So now I'm like, crap, I think I have to enroll in singing lessons or something like that, you know? I'm like, right, and then like the ego goes, well, where am I going to find the time for that? But it's like, it doesn't matter because that's the creative nudge that I'm getting right now. So like, Amber, like, what is it? What is it that sounds fun? What is it that sounds different? For you, like summertime, getting outside, like doing the thing, like that's going to be really, really powerful.
2 more weeks till school's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I ran an ass kicker of a field day today for the 8th graders. It was Hunger Games style. And so I had 16 teams. There were 161 kids that stayed back from Washington, D.C. and Leominster today. Yeah. 161 kids that stayed back. That's almost like half of their grade. And so I had 16 teams and 8 stations, and like they killed it. And the team that wins gets to pick their seats tomorrow at movie day.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, which we know it would have been blood if Jill and I, can you imagine being on the same team? We would have been like, we get to pick our seats and get in line for concessions first.
And just have the acknowledgement of being the winners. Let's talk about that. Nobody would have had a chance.
Wow, for blood.
Oh, sister, you know what you have to do.
I know.
You know what you have to do. And it's okay. And here's the thing too. It's okay if you're feeling that inner turmoil of like, she may not be my ideal client and I feel guilty in even saying that because she's a client, and like, it's okay. Feel your feelings, do your thing, show up and serve her. But remember that your modules aren't just meant for her. They're meant for every other person that you are calling in. So you do not have to tailor it specifically toward her needs.
Oh.
It'll be interesting because her needs are our needs, as far as she has a calling, like she wants to start a business as pretty much a personal trainer for people who are over 42 is her ideal client who have medical issues going on and their doctor sent them to her. So it'll be interesting from everybody's point of view here, because I feel like they all kind of we've all had that, I want to find my calling. And for me to find my calling, it was very spirituality based. So I think that's what I'm going with. And it's like, that might be my healer client, but not my soul business client. So I'd be interested to get your feedback on that and how you would have felt getting that first module and the questions and kind of digging into it.
I'm excited. I feel like we're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
I know, I'm selfishly psyched about this.
Me too.
Remember, this doesn't have to be the end all be all. You can edit this, you can change it. It's not set in stone. And I know you're not going to
change mine, right?
Yeah.
I think you noticed that.
I'm detail orientation, but that's the beauty of it, is that you can change it and you can be like, oh yeah, this would be wonderful for it, and that's okay. Because you're not going to put a shitty product out there. I know you're not.
And then that was kind of the fight. And I love that you kind of affirmed that for me, because I had that thought today, like, first of all, done's better than perfect, because perfect's an illusion anyways. And like, as soon as I get it out to her and I get her feedback, and like, it's just going to get better.
Right.
Based on where she's at too, and the feedback I get from our call together on my own as well.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? One more thing that works for me when I'm feeling like that is I imagine especially with writing, because it's very triggery for a lot of people, because writing is so intimate, I guess, in certain ways. But I imagine handing it off and them saying, oh my gosh, this is all I ever dreamed of and more. And just trying to like have those feelings as I'm writing it, and having all those good vibes makes me feel like it's my best work as I'm going through it.
I'm going to use that for my blogging too, like my Sunday emails, which I totally this week didn't even post online, but it's like, I would like to be more consistent with posting as well, more of my story and just more posts, and getting the blogs up there too, to reiterate my email.
You're doing it. Thanks for that.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely is right.
One of the things that I keep thinking about, Amber, is that when you're talking about the client, I keep thinking about you're maybe attached to the outcome with the client, and maybe you don't really have to worry about that as much as, you know, I know you're putting out a great product, and I know that you're putting your heart and your soul and your spirit goes into what you do. And sort of like, if you can just release it and then just have faith that it's going to be received, you know, in the way it needs to be received. And sometimes people don't receive it right away, the way that you might want, but you're putting it out there. And so, you know, maybe not worrying so much about the outcome at the moment, because I mean, I know for myself, when I come into these calls, whether it's the mastermind call or my coaching calls with Jillian, a lot of times it's something that resonates with me 24 or 48 hours later, that I come back to, and I think about something one of you have shared, or something Jillian said to me, or even waking up in the middle of the night and having an aha moment. You know, I think you're, you know, you've just got so much to share. And I also agree with Jillian. I've never been pregnant before, but just the hormonal changes and everything must be incredible. I mean, you know, just incredible.
Yeah. And it's taxing on your body, and you are more tired, and it's a real thing. It's like really happening. It's not just a fake thing.
And I think like what you said, Jill, like, no, that's a fact. It's because it's like, I feel like because I can do the things, like like that should comes up all the time, and it's like I don't want to use well, you are poking yourself twice a day and it fucking hurts and it sucks, and like your fibroid is being a literal pain in your ass, and like it's like I don't want to like use those things, but it's like at the same time there's no denying that.
Well, right, like you have to acknowledge they're there, because if you like, the more that you're like, no, they're not there, no, they're not there, they're like, dude, yeah, we freaking are, you know, like, yeah. So like, give yourself the grace and the space.
Yeah.
Yes, you are pregnant, but also you do have additional things that are physically providing you with sensations that aren't so great during this. And that's okay. And you are strong. You will prevail through all of it. But holy shit, it kind of sucks sometimes. Like, it just does. Like, and I remember feeling at the end of my pregnancy, so you guys know, like, both of my children, I couldn't get pregnant naturally, but like as soon as I did, they didn't want me to not be pregnant. Like, they both would have kept me pregnant forever. And I remember toward the end with Cameron, I just felt so bad. I was so uncomfortable. I was so pregnant. He was 10 days overdue. And I was just like, I'm like, this is awful. But I felt bad saying that. And I had a friend look at me and she goes, I know that you feel bad saying that because of your struggle to get pregnant, but this is what you're feeling now. You don't owe yourself anything. You don't have to like pay the piper by not feeling what you're feeling now because you're grateful that it even happened. Like, just feel what you're feeling. It's okay.
True, releasing the guilt. Yeah, for sure.
Plus, you've got like
you need to get out of there.
Oh, sorry. You have a whole nother person. I mean, what about that? Like, just spiritually. I mean, you're two people now, right now. You're two.
Wait, what did you say? Go back. I missed my What did you say?
I said you're two people right now. You're not just you. You're another person. So, like, what about spiritually? How does that work? Like, what about her? Is it a her? Is it a girl? Yeah.
It's a girl?
It's a girl? Oh, wait, no. I thought you meant my client. No, I don't know.
I was like,
I think it is. I think it is, by the way. So I keep wanting to say she and her too. So
my Reiki healer thinks it's a girl.
I thought you told us it was a girl. But
I did not yet. No, not yet. I'm only in between 13 and 14 weeks, so I have a little bit more to go to find out. I have an appointment.
5.5 more weeks. So when do we find out?
No.
Are you gonna find out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, could you send a note to your life coach and so she can know? It's part of the job description, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, does pregnant though cause what if your baby's going to be like a Pisces and you're something else? And I mean, I wonder if that
she's going to be Sagittarius. That's what she's going to be.
I think it's been very interesting, like connecting energetically.
Yeah.
And spiritually, it's almost like I've been thinking about my godmother a lot the last few days because she was really religious and super angel based and gave me all these angel pins, which I found in my, basically my jewelry box from when I was a little kid. And I really just think that, and I kind of said from the beginning, like as I connect, it's almost like this, like I feel almost more spiritual because they're inside of me. Like they exude this spirit and the spiritualityness, and it like fills me up more. And it's like, and I think that's almost what's coming out in my work. Like if you're getting my Sunday emails, like a lot of that's coming out, and it's really who I am, but it's really just kind of enhancing that more for me. And I really feel like they're going to be like a really cool teacher in their own right. Like for some reason, like this, I just have that, like my intuitions have been kind of pinging about them being my teacher, but also being somehow tied into, and I guess it's really your own mission. Everybody has their own mission. That's their spirituality anyways. Like that's your soul mission and kind of inherent in those two words. But Yeah, it's definitely enhanced that for me.
I just picture your guardian angel now having like a best friend hanging around because
And what's crazy is that in the book I'm reading, it talks about how like as soon as you incarnate, which is technically when your soul, like as you are forming that as a fetus, even like your soul energy is already there. That's what creation is. Like it's also very science, but like the science works because of that soul energy. And that's when you get your guardian angel. Like your guardian angel picks you before you're incarnated because you sign your soul contract. Like when you pick your parents and kind of come into the world, like your guardian angel chooses you because of your soul contract, because they're best suited to help you. So like your guardian angels could be people from past lineage and heritage, actually, which is super cool to think about too. Or even people in your life now could have been like a guardian angel in a past life. So the people you feel super connected to in your soul tribe, the people you really vibe with, or like teachers that you have now, like it's almost like could be a role reversal sometimes too, which is so cool to think about.
so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Your homework is to lean in too. Post the module. Let us give you feedback and learn from it. Just be present in what you're experiencing right now. You know, like get back to meditating, get back to journaling. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to look like it once did, because the fact is at different seasons of your life, it's going to look way different. So it's okay. Let it take on its new meaning in life right now for this season within your pregnancy.
Super.
Does that sound good? Does that sound life-giving?
It does. It's just like do it. Like it's just like do it, because I've known it and I've journaled a little bit, and it's almost like it's almost like the split personality thing coming up again of like I feel myself going into the swirl, and then I feel myself saving myself and writing out like not why are you thinking that way, but like this is how you know where you should be. This is how you know what to do. And so it's like just sticking with it and continuing to write no matter what.
Just do it. But also, on the days that you don't, it's okay. Just do it tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next? Kate?
I'll go. Sorry for all the interruptions.
Oh, you're so cute.
You're so
Cute
cute.
interruptions.
Oh my God. Well, I had muted myself for the first part of the call because I knew that they were on the way home. Mm-hmm. And I knew my dog would go insane, which they did multiple times before they even got here. And then when Isla came in, I was like, "Ugh. It is what it is."
Just like walks in and she's just so like teeny, but like she just walks with such a swagger. I'm like,
she has such a little tood. Like it's unbelievable. Like all of a sudden she's like this little person that like, you know, says no and, you know, screams in restaurants. I'm like, oh geez.
I know it well.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh no, she's gonna be the crazy one. What's going on with me? So like I feel like a lot has happened since our last call. So I guess the big thing is that I started reaching out to people, you know, in relation to like Beachbody and stuff. And I just really, really enjoyed doing that and just like reconnecting with people I haven't talked to for, you know, 10, 15, 20 years. And basically I went through and I contacted everybody who said something on my post about postpartum. I started with them and just kind of went from there and just started having conversations. And in one of the conversations, somebody has worked at Planned Parenthood and has worked in the medical field with, you know, I think she's a doula's nurse maybe. But she, you know, like she had her own feelings about, you know, how the country treats women postpartum and all of that. And she mentioned, that there's such a need for postpartum doulas, which I had never heard of. And so I Googled it because I didn't want to seem dumb. So I Googled it and I was like, wow, there's this like whole, like, it's like this whole like caregiver for women after birth. And like, instead of focusing on the baby, these women focus on the mother. They, help them get, connected with the baby. They help them with, working, cleaning their house, or, helping them plan dinners or incorporate older kids with them, helping them with breastfeeding, that kind of stuff. And it was just such a strong pull for me to be like, wow, why doesn't everybody get someone like that after their first kid, their second kid, their third kid? Like, that's such a cool idea. Like, somebody that you can, text in the middle of the night and be like, is this normal? Like, I'm crying, I'm sweating, I'm, doing these things, instead of relying on Dr. Google, or because I can tell you that I can't tell you how many times I was up in the middle of the night Googling, is it normal that my baby is doing blah, blah, blah? Or, like, even the stuff that was going on with me, like, I didn't know that after you gave birth, like, you like sweat out all the hormones at night. Like, I didn't know that. That was crazy. I was like, there's something wrong with me. And I don't know, it just like it resonated with me. Like, so one day I was on Instagram and I just searched the hashtag, and I found that there was this, it's a pretty good like, a good group of people out there that do this job. And so I just started reaching out to them, asking them questions, asking them, how they got into it, if they had, like a medical degree, or like what kind of training they went into. And I've just been kind of like feeling around with that. And I don't know if that's necessarily something that I would want to do, but like, it's kind of gotten me thinking, like, maybe some kind of like mama coach, or something like that,
Like, sign me up.
And it's just, it's very at the like front of my mind right now. Like, I'm so busy at work, but like, all I want to do is this. Like, like, I can't tell you how many times I just stop and just journal throughout the day, because I have all these ideas coming to me, and it's just like everything's exploding out, but I have to get it all down so I can focus on work. And I guess, I mean, I'm still like so fresh and trying to figure out what I want to do and like how I want to go on from here. But like, just the idea of something like that really excites me. Like, even like, I feel like I've been like kind of like all over the place in the group, and like, this is the first time that I'm like, this could be something I could really get into.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the in the collecting of information point of my time. So I've been today I was like Googling like if there are like mom coaches out there, and there are. And I think like I just never thought of something like that, but like I would have loved to have somebody like that, a support, somebody who's been there, somebody who's not necessarily your best friend or your mom, but somebody who can help guide you in the right way. If you need help with postpartum depression, like guiding you to how to find a doctor, how to talk to your doctor, like any of that stuff. So I just thought it was a very cool idea. And I guess I'm just in the process of kind of sorting it out and putting my feelers out there. So
we're launching this. Like, I'm just like, Nikki, I've been like waiting. I could see you're like brimming.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm way too fidgety. My back is killing me today. I'm really sore. I've been trying to work out.
I saw your wheels turning.
Yeah. Well, so my best friend in the world has a 3-month-old, and she had a postpartum doula, and she just swears by this girl. It was actually a girl she went to high school with, and so that's how she knew her. And she didn't end, my best friend didn't end up having postpartum, but she thought she did for like the first 2 weeks. Like she was convinced. She was like, this is not normal what I'm feeling. And really what it was all the hormones just raging through her body, and she's just not used to that. She's pretty like even keeled, which I'm like, that's my life all the time. Anyway, this doula would sit with her. She actually lives in Mexico now. And I think she charged her like $35 for 30 minutes, which my best friend was like, I would gladly have paid $300 for 30 minutes because she just felt so good after. And she even sat down with her because breastfeeding was a big part of it. She was having really a hard time breastfeeding.
That's what I was going to say is oh my God, if I could have really.
Yeah. So it was her first child, and she felt very, she says the lactation consultants in the hospital were great, but they were just very intense, and it was not the kind of energy, like to the point where one of her nipples was like had a huge gash in it because the lactation consultant held the baby's to her nipple and like ripped it apart basically.
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
That's awful.
Yeah, so she didn't have a good initial experience, which I think led her to a difficult first 2 weeks. Anyway, she's sitting on Skype with a lactation consultant. She had her show me how you nurse the baby, and just watched and said, here, try this, like adjust her this way, try this, whatever it is. And she just raved about her. So I just texted her to get her website, and I'll send it to you when she texts me back.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And like, I just have to say, like, I don't know why, but like the universe is just throwing all this stuff at me. And like, this is just another example of it. It's just like, like somebody with firsthand experience, like that's crazy. Like that's awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
So I've been waiting for this moment from you since we were at our retreat.
I have goosebumps.
Like literally hearing you talk at the retreat, it was like you just lit up, and I was like, oh duh. Like, that's what she's supposed to be fucking doing. Like, yeah, like as a matter of fact, like I've literally talked about you like to my family and friends, and like, yeah, this one in my group, like she's totally found her purpose. Like this is what she's going to be doing. So like maybe I've just been like putting that energy out there. Maybe I've just been like speaking it out, and your angels have been like pew 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 pew.
Oh, I love that.
Your spiritual teams have been on it.
Like if this is what you were going to do. Like I've spoke to you like, yeah, no, like Kate, like she's gonna be helping women with postpartum, or like with their babies after they're born. Like she's gonna be helping all these women, these young moms, like all these moms. Like, so I'm just super excited for you.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
Kate,
We may be able to work something out in December.
What, Amber?
And we may be able to work something out in exchange in December when this baby comes, like if you need practice or whatever.
That'd be a sweet exchange.
Yeah. Definitely.
Dude.
So
Receive.
Yes, I'm
all
receiving it.
Go back to like where the ego started to try to kick your butt last week, and like this is proof again, like that fear voice has no room.
Mm-hmm.
No room, no space. There's too much love. Literally too much freaking love.
Yeah, like I want you. Like you can have free access to my workshops type of like exchange thing, because like I'm gonna want you. Like I want you.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Same would have happened, man. Oh my gosh. I was gonna call this girl, but I was like, I would much rather go with somebody I know.
Nice.
Great. So now we just need a business, because now you have 2 clients.
Yes.
So let's launch.
We have lots of work to do, Jill. We got 6 months, so
Excellent.
6 new months.
6 new months.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, so good. Okay. Can we do anything for you right now? Or
No, this
is what you needed. Okay.
This is what I needed, and like I can't wait to like go and share more. Like you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I needed.
Keep learning because you're being presented with a lot of stuff right now.
Mhm.
Let's be in the download phase. Let's be in the learning phase. And then like when you're feeling like there's the button time to push it, like we'll roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Thank you.
So good. Oh my gosh. All right. Donna, you want to go next?
Well, I don't have that much to share, but let's see. I received information that I got my articles of incorporation today for my LLC.
Yay!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
That came through. Yay! I wrote down. I wrote notes so that I would remember. I came up with 350 topics I can write about. Anna just finished week 1. You know, I hired a worker, and I absolutely adore her. And this just, it totally makes me feel even so much better about the whole manifestation thing, because when I went looking, I knew who I was looking for, and she was the first person I interviewed. And I've had like 16 people who have come since saying that they're interested in the job. I told Danielle, she reminds me of a dark-haired Nikki. She's 25 years old. She's very poised. I'm going to have to turn on to Millennium Marvel. I'll definitely do that. But she's just wonderful. And she told me today, she said, now I know what I want to be. And she loves the job. She's catching on. She finished her first week. She's going to do 4 days a week. So my week has been sitting with her in the office, but a lot of the time the office is adjacent to our dining room. So a lot of the week I've been sitting in the dining room working on notes for things I want to write, topics for videos and stuff like that. So I have actually managed to do a lot of work, even though I've been training her. I feel like I can breathe. And I got paid. The person that wasn't paying me for the bridal portrait, all of a sudden I had mail last week, opened it up, and there was the check from her for $600 with an apology for being 5 months late. So that was really cool. Yes.
So good.
And I think the only thing I could really say is that, you know, I'm really scared of, I mean, Jillian knows this, you all probably know it. I have a lot of problems with self-image right now and the whole aging thing and everything, and I'm playing with it, trying to feel more comfortable with who I am. And I have just committed myself to the idea of doing something every day that makes me a little bit scared. I'm putting myself out there. So I've promised myself that even if it's just 10 seconds, I'm going to create some sort of a little video every day. And so I know if I commit to every day, I've got dog hair on my face. If I commit to every day, I'll do it 4 to 5 days. I know I will. So that's it. You know, I don't have a lot more to share except that I'm working on the website, working on content, working on me. Danielle and I are both trying to lose some weight, and I joined the gym about 3 weeks ago, and I've been working out like a fiend. I planted 19 bushes in our garden over the weekend. I'm not a gardener, and I've been just working out, sweating, and I've been living off of weeds. I mean, literally not eating anything, and I gained 3.5 pounds.
I don't think you're eating enough.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I have an appointment for Tuesday because I have thyroid issues. I have 2 nodules on my thyroid, and I have Hashimoto's. So Tuesday I am seeing somebody, and we're going to go ahead and get the levels checked and try to find out what's going on there. I don't think there's a problem. I'm not saying it, you know, but I'm looking for some help to try to figure out what I'm not doing right. And it could be that I'm not eating enough. I think my metabolism has just ground to a halt, and I'm in the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm walking. I mean, even if it's just walking to the post office, I'm walking. And so and I'm having some scratchiness with my voice that makes me feel like the nodules may be pressing on my vocal cords. And so I'm a little scared, but even if it is something bad, thyroid is not, even if it is bad, it's such a slow growing thing. It's not bad and it's treatable. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
We're here.
And Danielle's burning it up, just dropping pounds. All she does is breathe. So I'm really ticked off about that. I'll catch up. I will catch up.
Well, you didn't call my call. I
haven't yet. I want to wait until Tuesday.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I have this friend from high school who is an Optavia coach, and she keeps saying, "Oh, try my program. And so I'm like, all right, I'll try it for a month. So I've been on this Optavia for 6 days. I've lost 6 pounds. I'm in ketosis. My body's consuming my own fat or something.
Yeah.
What is it?
My body. I don't know. So Dawn and I have been talking about it.
But
I'm very proud of her.
Are you taking pills? Are you eating? What is it?
It's you eat like 5. It's these little. Well, you eat it's all kinds of food. They sent me this big box of food, and it's all different things. And it's like high protein, high fiber, low calorie. I eat 5 fuelings a day, so it might be like bars or shakes or brownies, or mostly I just eat chocolate, and and then I eat like a protein and veggies meal every night. And I mean, I'm probably eating about 1,000 calories a day, and I'm just losing weight like crazy because it's like very low carbs, very low. So,
what's the plan for after that?
Well, you transition, I guess. That's my concern, and that's why I didn't do it. I was like, yeah, Kate lost 10 pounds in 10 days, and then she lost 40 pounds in about 3 months. Mm-hmm. She's very thin, but she looks beautiful. I've never seen her look so good. But yeah, that's my concern, is like once I start eating normal food again, I can't gain this weight back again like I did last time.
Yeah.
But you transition off it. Like you cut down to 4 fuelings and then 3, and then and you eat 6 times a day. And it's good because I eat every 2 to 3 hours. Like as soon as I start to think about food, I can eat, so, but it's a small amount of food.
Yeah.
It's working.
Good. Keep me posted on all of it. Like interested for a number of different reasons. So, but
okay.
I just want you guys to be healthy and well. So keep us posted. Donna, keep us posted about your appointment on Tuesday.
I will. I mean, I don't think it's anything to worry about, but I'm just trying to make sure.
We care. So just,
thank you.
Yeah. And where is everything with that weird dude?
Oh, well, he keeps sending me emails trying to pressure me to, what he wanted to do. It finally came clear that he's so crazy. I'm going to buy this picture from you, and I'm out of the country, so my agent is going to send you a check.
Yeah.
And then he says, my agent made a mistake, and he not only sent you your check, he sent you the amount for properties that we're purchasing in Florida.
Dave
So
had the exact same thing. Dave had the exact thing.
So then they want you to deposit the check, keep your portion, and then send them the difference, which is BS, because if you do that, then you become responsible when the check bounces. And so I Googled the FBI unit for internet crime. I went to that site. I completed a form telling them about it. The thing is, I don't think a crime has actually occurred because nothing has changed hands. It's just he was trying to create a crime. But I was able to send them copies of all of the email, so they have his email address, and he still keeps sending me stuff. So I think I kind of have released it into the universe. I feel like I've done what I should do, and I've changed all my passwords. Friday night we came out of the movie and I had a message saying that someone near DC was accessing my Apple account. So I changed all of that information. And then the following morning, I had information that someone in Philadelphia was accessing my Facebook account. So changed all that stuff around. The only thing I haven't done yet is go get the P.O. box because I've been so busy with Anna. But tomorrow she's off, so I'm going to get out and go to the UPS store. Nikki, I'm going to take your advice and do UPS store instead of the post office.
It sucks.
Get it set up. But I feel okay. I mean, I think I'm safe at this point. So, you know, and I just shared it with everybody mainly because, you know, I feel like that's the sort of thing we should just make each other aware of. And and I also locked down my Facebook. I had my personal Facebook wide open for anybody in the world, and now my personal Facebook is locked down to friends only, with my business Facebook wide open, and I'll make sure that nothing goes on my business Facebook other than art. Because the thing is, I've been very careful with my personal Facebook, but I was thinking about it. I do post things like photos of my mom on the anniversary of her death or something like that. So if somebody was trying to find out what's your mother's maiden name, they could go to my Facebook page. And I started thinking there's some stuff there that I hadn't really realized was sensitive. So just be more careful. But thank you all for being so supportive during this. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing, because it did help us to think a little bit differently. So that's,
you know, just makes you mad just to think that, you know, that there are people out there who their actual job is to try to defraud you. And here we are with this opportunity to build these wonderful businesses online, and there are people out there who want to take you down. And so I don't know, I'm trying really hard not to, I don't want to call it into the universe any more than it already has been. I feel like by handing it to the FBI, they've got the information they can do if they want to do anything. I don't know if they will or not, but they have the information, and I feel like I've sort of pushed it out now, and I'm focusing on healthier, cleaner kind of thoughts.
Right.
You know, so that's all.
You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. Keep us posted on Tuesday, and
thank you.
Let us know what else we can do for you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Nikki.
All right, I'll try. I know we're way over, but I will try to keep it brief, but I feel like I have a good little bit tonight.
Yeah, no, we're good.
So I also wrote notes down because it's like I don't want to forget anything. So I wanted to start by saying I finally went and saw a Reiki healer. I've been wanting to do it for years, and then just hearing Amber talk about hers, I was like, I need to do this. Like, I finally had that push to push the button. So I found this one on Groupon, because I feel like with service-based businesses like that, I tend to like to put my toe in the pool by using Groupon. I found some really great practitioners that way, where I end up working with them for, far after that, and I pay them their full price. But I feel like just with the financial part of it and just kind of testing people out, sometimes it's hard to pay like $100 for a session the first time. So anyway, I found this great woman. I checked out her website. She's right in St. Augustine, where for a lot of things I have to go to Jacksonville, which is more like 30 to 45 minutes away, where this was 15 minutes away, which just felt better. Just in my first conversations with her, talking with her on the phone, she's very empathic, and I shared that I'm learning all about that, and she teaches courses on it. So she's just the coolest person. We ended up talking for like an hour when I was just scheduling an appointment, which was so amazing. anyway, so I went, and it was the coolest thing. So I highly recommend it. It was just, it's still kind of a mind shift in the, like, the part where I totally and utterly believe in it. But when I find when I explain it to people, I always preface it by saying, this is really hippy dippy. And so I'm trying to stop doing that because there's no need for that. And so I decided no more of that. I believe in it. So it is what it is. And it was just, I mean, I could talk forever about the actual experience, but I 100% felt a difference. And I will share just some of the highlights. Like I was trying to kind of go with her and meditate with her as she was hitting all my chakras and clearing them and doing whatever magical wonderfulness happens. And so I grounded with her. And then the few biggest things that she picked up on was like self-doubt and fear in my solar plexus, like a little bit of that doubt, a little bit of that fear. So she's like, I had to work a little more on that one. And then everything else kind of cleared up pretty easily. But my I don't know if it's a chakra, but she said between my ears, like there was just a blockage where I'm receiving information from the universe, but I'm not always listening. So she was like, I had to clear that out. And I feel like ever since, the biggest difference with just being able to kind of download information, then just trust it and not doubt it. And it's a really cool feeling and really scary, but I got that cleared. So I guess I'm not scared of it anymore. So that was really cool. And I feel like that kind of leads itself into, I'm on the final chapters of Woman Code, which everybody needs to read this. Like, it's insane.
Kate was going to read it. She was going to order it.
I haven't ordered it yet, but I definitely want to.
So good. Oh my gosh, I am learning so much. And I messaged Jillian and I was like, it's great, but holy shit, like I'm so overwhelmed.
Yeah. And that's how I felt too. I was just like, because it makes you feel like I have to fix all the things. I have to totally turn things around. And like for me, like when I read something, I take it as gold. And that's not a great attribute because it's like, it's actually good to question things. And I see Cameron doing the same thing. And I'm like, no, like question why, like ask the question. But so it's just taking it with a grain of salt and then making the decision. So yeah.
I'm the exact same way. And especially as someone who, I think I'm a very healthy, in tune person. But it's brought up a lot of like, have I been doing this wrong the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. So I'm trying to take, small gems from it and implement it, and that's been feeling good. So it's all good. So I'm cycle syncing, which is basically eating for the week of your cycle or the part of your cycle, and that has felt amazing, and it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be.
I'm like super excited for that, like because you guys know, like I don't have a period, or like I'm working on it. I have to stop saying I don't have a period. I am working on getting an active period. I haven't had one for 7 years, 15 years naturally. But the part about eating for your cycle and exercising for your cycle, I'm like, that is so cool. I want to do that.
Yes, it
what
is.
What about if you're postmenopausal like I am?
It goes over that too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sending it to my mom. She had extreme endometriosis and had to have a hysterectomy. So it totally threw her hormones out of whack. So I'm sending her this book because I think it's going to be, it's powerful. The only thing I don't, and I actually wanted to ask you this, Jill, do you know offhand how it works? Like, are you supposed to go by the moon or
So, oh boy, this is like this is my love right now. So,
I knew it was.
oh my gosh, it's like excited. I did a whole freaking team call about this for my my beach party team. So, do you see me? Like, I'm getting all wiggly. So, if you do not have a period, or if you're postmenopausal, or like whatever, and you do not have like that specific time of the month that you can really kind of tailor things around, which is me, you do go by the moon. So, what I'm doing right now, per my first of all, sidebar, do you know that like back in the day, like bazillions of years ago, before all the crap, women, for the most part, had their periods in alignment with the moon. Like, that's why we talk about that. That's why we feel what we feel during the month. Like, all of us at one time. I'm actually reading this book right now called The Red Tent, and it's biblical times. Yeah, it's mind freaking blowing, because like it's all about during one time of the month, like you all go into the red tent, and that is where you have those deep, moving, female oriented conversations. Like, you guys, you should read that book. I'm listening. Andrew knows all about the red tent because it's on Audible all the time when it's just me and him. So, but yes, so what you do in order to sync, if you don't have the present period, then you kind of go along with the moon cycle. So from the new moon to the full moon, that's the first half. So technically our cycles are broken into 4 different areas, but going by the moon, new moon to full moon is the first half. And so what I'm doing right now, in order to try to get my body totally synced so that it's producing a period, I'm taking some like Chinese herbal supplements. I basically feel like I'm swallowing a hippie. Like, it's like, they're so gross. I said this to Michael. He was like, don't say that again. But so I'm taking the supplements, but also you have specific seeds and oils during that first half of the cycle, and then the second half, from the full moon to the new moon, which is what we are in right now, you switch it. And so right now I'm having ground sesames and ground something else, sunflower seeds and evening primrose oil. So
would that be second half is luteal period?
Yes, and that is the progesterone period. That is you are so at the. Did I say that right? Hang on. What did we just have? No, full moon to new moon, because we just had. What did we just have? No, we had the full moon. I said it right the first time. So where's my chart? I have a chart. Here it is. Okay, here's my chart. So this is curry carrots that I was making, because obviously this was on the counter. So this is actually the moon, but this shows you. Can you guys see this? Okay, so this is the follicular time period, and this is the luteum time period. So this is the doing. So your period is right here around the new moon. If you bring it right here, new moon
13th.
This is the new moon is the 13th. Thank you. This is where you're menstruating. And so, Donna, for you, who you're like, I'm not going to get a period again. Like, it's basically just like learning what your body's doing at the other parts. So you could say to yourself, this is when my body did or would be menstruating. So
I'm like you. I almost never had periods anyway. So I totally relate to that.
So it's so frustrating at times, because you're like, but when? Like, I don't know. Like, I want to function like this. So anyway, this is really, really helpful. So new moon, you're menstruating. for a few days. And then this is the doing time period. So like when we are just finishing up our periods and like that first like 10 days or so afterwards, we're like the give me all the tools. I'm going to do all the things. We've got so much energy. It's like the rare, like time to go. And then as we get to the full moon, that's when we are kind of at our max. And that's when we start wading into the being. So the first half is the doing mode. The second half is the being mode. So when we're feeling like, I am so exhausted, I just want to sit here, I want to go into my hole, or like when we're feeling like I don't really want to have like conversations with people, I'll do behind the scenes work, but I can't. It's because we're in this phase. So it's honoring that. And then, so this is the moon, and then this is like the actual. So, yeah, full moon. This is where we're waiting. This is PMS right here, and this is period right here. So during that first half, it's flax seeds and pumpkin seeds ground with fish oil. And in the second half, it's sunflower seeds and sesame seeds ground with evening primrose. Cool, right?
Mm-hmm. So if we're in so the 13th is the new moon. So from the 13th to what, like the 26th or 27th, that's our doing time.
Yeah.
And so towards pretty much for the rest, from the 13th for almost the rest of the month. And then peak is full moon is like what? Like right around there. So then we can like be again.
Yeah. Full moon is like when we come back into ourselves, and
we're like more being now than we are doing.
Well, your cycle may not be totally synced with this. This is if you do not have a cycle, you go by the moon.
Yeah, well, I'm on the pill all the time. I never go off it, so I never have a period either. Because I don't actually want one. I don't know why anybody wants one. But, you know.
Well, it's funny because I used to think like that, like I'm grateful that I don't have one, but like it came down to like energetically I felt broken. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And so now I'm like, now I want to get it so that I can learn and better honor myself, because I personally have the tendency to just want to freaking push through it all. And that's truly at the detriment to my body and my soul for half of a month. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, Nikki, you were asking, was that helpful?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, because I'm thinking for my mom for menopausal, and when I do get pregnant, I still want to keep this up. So,
yes.
So it's been a lot of good information. Like I said, I find myself, I'm pretty healthy in general, I would say. But upon reading this, I felt myself going to a very hypochondriac place because I'm reading all about how if you have adult acne, and if you have a long cycle, and if you spot a lot, which TMI, but that's I think why we're all here, then you may be estrogen dominant. And I'm like, well, damn, I have all of those things. So I ended up doing a lot of research, because I tend to be like Jillian, and I like gospel truth when I'm reading something. So I did a lot of my own research, and I did indeed find that it's either I'm producing too much estrogen or my progesterone's not high enough. So basically I just want to be the healthiest I can be at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to take a more holistic approach to all this rather than hypochondriac. So I am following this diet, which again is very, very easy. It's basically the way she lays it out in this book is like, these are the best foods for you in this quarter of your cycle, which I eat all of those things anyway. So it's just a matter of taking all that stuff, and that's what we eat for the week. So Dave's on my cycle too now. So that part's been good. And I've been doing it now for, I want to say like a week. solid, I would say, and I feel so good. And on top of that, I would say I've kind of become much more in tune, more than I have been even, which is crazy, crazy awesome. So for example, last week I was moving into ovulation like over the weekend, and I was feeling super creative last week, which as it turned out, which was like cosmically what was going on last week anyway. And so I've been finding that I'm actually being intuitive of that before I even look it up and research it, which is super cool to me.
Oh, cool.
So I just made time to like write and to be creative, and it was really cool to give myself permission to do that. And then this week, as I'm kind of like moving through ovulation into the last phase of my cycle, I'm feeling very like the fun this week, and you know, like the fun energy and the get her done before I have the calm of either being knocked up or getting my period. So fingers crossed. So yeah, that's been really cool. But in staying in tune with kind of being proactive about everything, I did decide I wanted to get my hormone levels tested, just so that I don't spend a lot of time wondering and not really knowing. So I actually had an appointment originally for a couple days ago, which I think was actually like my peak ovulation day from everything that I've gleaned. So I called them and I was like, look, I scheduled this, but I need to reschedule it because I'm actually looking for my progesterone levels, and long story short, that will peak after I ovulate, so it would be silly to do it then. And I got a lot of pushback, and she's like, no, we do that on like day 21, which is about that for you. And I said, well, no, currently I have very long cycles. They're like 35 days. So day 21 for me is like next week for most women. So I had to kind of do one of those like patient advocate stands.
Yeah, go girl.
Yeah.
So I'm getting it done next week. So apparently, Donna, it's like a testing week.
Yeah.
So I'm getting that done. So that's exciting. And then I'll just be able to know like what's going on. As a sidebar to that, I decided I'm giving up cheese and dairy, which is really hard for me. But I've been doing a lot of reading about that and how that can really spike your estrogen and I've known that for a long time. But I do.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about cheese. I know that about soy.
Yes, cheese, soy, dairy. There's, from what I've read, between like hormone enhancements in cows, even if you are getting organic, and a lot of the cows producing milk are pregnant. Yeah. So it's that much estrogen. So that could be causing an imbalance for me. But yeah, whether, you know, yes, for future baby's sake, but also just for my hormonal sake. And God, I would love to stop getting adult acne in my 30s. That would be really cool.
You know what? One of my very best friends, she did too, and it was painful. Yeah. And she cut out cheese, and that was it. There are just some nasty little things in cheese, and she can tell you now, like she has to, it's any dairy, and she can tell you like if they sneak dairy into it, like a fun drink or anything that they cook with, like she's a teacher, so if people bring in cupcakes with frosting, she's like, can't have that, like, because she'll tell you within an hour now, because her body is just that tuned to it now. So I know, but it's good. It's good.
It is. And I will say, being on this, I don't like the word diet because it's just more of like lifestyle to me. With this new way of eating, I can say I've not craved it at all. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully that continues, but I'll just have to find other options.
I also have the name of somebody who she's based out of Indianapolis, but she does cycle mapping and she's really, really good. I have a friend that is going to her now because she's going to be looking to get pregnant over the next few months. And I actually had a call with her just with everything that I'm going through. It's just not quite the right time for me, but she's a ninja at it and she can really help. So get your testing done. And then if it's time, then maybe you can chat with her.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I would say, after I kind of get some of these answers, that might be something fun to look into. So I am getting to more of a point here. I appreciate the space. I know it's getting late. So I have done a lot of I guess like the journaling thing this week. I've been feeling on that vein, a lot of the meditation and stuff. And I had sort of an aha moment, I would say, yesterday, where as a part of this Woman Code book, there's some talk about like masculine versus feminine energy. And I've always felt innately like I have a lot of feminine energy. I just have always been like that. I tend to be a little bit more not subdued, but just more of the the divine feminine going on. And there's this quiz in her PDF as a part of this where she has you sort of say, am I more masculine or more feminine in this area of my life? And what was interesting was the only places I'm masculine are health and fitness. And I was like, holy shit, that I am like, I never let those slip up. I can be super on top of those all the time. There's never any room for questioning in those areas of my life. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just really cool to kind of identify with that. And I don't know yet if that's a good or a bad thing, but it works for me. So I guess I'll say it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But what was interesting was kind of thinking about that further, where I really had my aha moment was when I really want something, when it's not a question of whether it's going to happen for me, I get that more masculine energy, if that makes sense. Like it's more of, typically I'll be like my creative self and kind of like flowy and this will be good in the right time and when I'm feeling it. Yeah. But when I am serious about something and I really, there's just no question, that's when I get that sort of like masculine hat on and I'm like, it's happening, obviously.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. As a part of all of this, the last like good thing I'll say, and then my need help is quick, I promise.
No rush.
I have been feeling like super creative, and I don't know if it was the block that was right here, but I'm actually like listening, and it's insane what I'm hearing. I guess I was really blocked here because I'm like, wow, there's lots of ideas in the world, and they're all just coming in. And I can hear them now. So something cool I thought of, this may be like a future project, because God knows I just can't keep enough going on, was I was talking to my best friend, and she and my husband are very similar in this way. They do not like to have the same meal multiple days in a row. They can both handle it like a day or two, but it really needs to be repurposed, or there needs to be something else. I am a leftover baby. That's how I grew up. I can eat the same thing every day for a year, and it's just like food is fuel to me. That's my masculine thought. So I said to her the other day when I was visiting her and the babe, and I said, it would be really cool if I could find a resource where it gives you a recipe, but it's kind of like a timeline, like series of recipes. So you take one thing and you make it, and it's good for like 2 nights. But then you add this other thing and you repurpose it, and now it's something else. And then you repurpose that and it's something else. And I was like, that would be really cool there has to be something out there like that. And I am going to buy it. I'm like, that's for me. and I could not find anything. So has anybody heard of anything like that?
Wow.
And Jeremy
Okay.
would be all over that because I'm like you. I've literally had like I was like on eggs for a while, and then
Yeah.
for some reason, as 2 weeks ago, I was like, put an egg in front of me and I'm gonna punch you. And so I've literally been having like yogurt, granola, and strawberries, and I have strawberries every day for my snack. Like I've literally had chicken tacos for like 2 weeks, and I don't get sick of it. But Jeremy's like leftover for 2 days in the fridge. Like, get out of here. Not unless you literally magic that shit up into something
Yes.
different.
So I don't know, maybe that's something, but I'm just receiving, and it's really cool. So
That is really cool.
that could be something. I'm certainly not a chef, but my hubby is basically one. So I'll be like, you create the recipe and I will write about it and it will be magical.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's cool. So lots of fun stuff, I feel like.
So much stuff. Oh my gosh.
What's that?
It's so much fun stuff. Oh my gosh. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's wild. My need help area, the first thing was earlier this week, and I kind of had a sense of this, and I don't know if I mentioned this in our group or not. I had a very difficult client from like months ago, and I wrote the copy for their website, and I felt really confident about it because I had worked in, it was for a dentist, and I had worked in that space before. And did I mention this before?
I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
So they came back and they were like, no, it's too, basically like, I like a more complex sentence structure than they do. It was very simple. So they said, let's try a couple pages again. I said, okay, great. So I did that and I felt really good about that. And then they came back and were like, no, we want to go with someone else. And this is a kind of like a third party client. So there's a middleman, and then there's me, and then the client's on the other side. So the company in the middle is like communicating everything. And so they came back to me this week and they're like, yeah, they're still not happy. And I kind of had that like ego trip moment where I had to be like, check yourself. This has been the first time this has really happened to me, is like somebody's just really not having it. And I still haven't gotten the full story of why, because that's kind of more of where I'm at now. I just want to learn from it.
Yeah.
So there isn't really much to be done about that. It's more just taking it in and understanding that that's going to happen. Hopefully not too often, but it'll happen. And then, so my bigger thing, and Donna, it sounds like with your new person, you might be able to help me out with this. So I have this assistant, and it's been a learning process for both of us. She's 22. She's in her last year of school. I see a lot of myself in her, but it's kind of like all my negative qualities like dialed up significantly, which is, in my mind, that's my lesson, is to be able to teach someone how to get through those things. But we're starting to get to a point where I don't know if I can help her, or if she really wants to be helped. Like, I feel like all of our conversations start with, do you really want to do this? Because it doesn't really seem like you do. Because I get a lot of, like, really, at the end of the day, all she's responsible for right now are my social media posts. And they're supposed to be scheduled at the beginning of the week so I can go in and I can see them all. And she's not a grammatical queen by any means. So I go in and I edit. But what typically happens is they go up like an hour before they're publishing. And so I'm scrambling to get in there and check them before they go live. And so I don't have to edit them after they go live, which has happened multiple times because there's not a comma where they're supposed to be, or there's a spelling mistake, and that's not something homegirl can fly with. So it's been a challenge, and we keep it's kind of like a broken record. Like, we got to fix this. We got to fix this. And I've progressively become a little bit harder on her until last week when nothing was scheduled. Nothing ever got scheduled. I'm literally texting, calling her, messaging her on every platform, left her voicemails. I end up messaging her boyfriend on Facebook because by Friday, I had not heard from her, and now I'm just worried.
Yeah.
And like she's dead in a ditch somewhere. Like, what's going on? So she finally messages me Sunday afternoon. So I ended up having to like push out random stuff all week. I'm still kind of experimenting with like my voices on all of my platforms anyway, but I'm trying to get there. And I feel pretty good about where everything's going. But I don't want to be paying someone, obviously, that it's taking me more time to check up on them than to like ease my mind about these things. Because that was the whole point, was I don't, like, someone's doing it, I'm paying them, I don't have to worry about it. So she messages me a Sunday and basically writes, I'm so sorry. I basically had like a full mental breakdown on Monday. I've been in bed all week, and she's on like anxiety, depression meds. And she had told me she changed medication and it was not really jiving with her body very well. But she'd been on it for a few weeks, and apparently she just had this like breakdown. And so first I'm empathic and I'm like, are you okay? Like everything. I said, I'm glad to hear you're okay. Like, takeaway number one, just tell me you're okay. Because I was literally imagining you dead in a ditch. And then I got kind of tough love on her, because I do get the sense from her, as much as I respect mental illness, and I never want to put her in a place where she feels like I'm disrespecting that, I also have gotten the sense many, many times that there's a lot of excuses. So my intuition wants to say, like, is this another excuse where, yes, I'm sure you had a breakdown, but was it so bad to the point where you couldn't text me to say you know what I mean? So I said, my gut said, give her one last chance. And I've been more like just straight drill sergeant, no give whatsoever. And I was basically like, look, we made the agreement, social posts go up on Sunday. If they are not up on Sunday, then we're done. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't keep doing this. And they were. There's still been like a few things that I'm willing and able to work with her on. And I told her that. But I am ready to receive any guidance as far as like what I should do or how I should guide her at this point. Because I want this to be a good experience for us both. And I want to know when it's okay to walk away from it, when it's not a good experience, and not, because honestly, my biggest thing is, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to have to talk to somebody else and I'm going to have to go through this all over again. And I don't want that to be the reason why I hold on to something that may not be a good situation.
Sometimes the good experience for her is the kick out the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it is. And I think even more than understanding. And yeah, it's going to be annoying, but also all of this has been annoying. Right. So I think it's just keeping in mind. And Chris Britton, who was on our call in the academy, she said something to me the other day, because I had a question, and she goes, someone's always enrolling someone. So, and this is more for sales, but like, so either you're enrolling them in your program or they're enrolling you in their story that's keeping them small. Which one's it going to be? So either you're enrolling her in an up-leveling opportunity that's going to change her professional life, or she's enrolling you in her story of, oh, I'm so sorry this came up, or I'm so sorry that came up, or, oh, I thought it was done like this, or like, I'm just not detail-oriented, and like all that stuff. And like, that is the opportunity. That's the coaching opportunity right there. It's like, what's really going on right now? Why are you playing so small? Why are you trying to self-sabotage? And I'm taking the mental illness stuff out of it. Like, I'm talking about like all the incorrect spellings and the stuff like that. And then not getting it up an hour beforehand when she's supposed to get it up a week beforehand, not appropriate. So, but also sometimes the major takeaway is that you're not responsible for being enrolled in her story. You're responsible for your business.
Yeah, it's a business exchange. You didn't hire her to be her mother or her big sister. You hired her to do a job. And like when my customer wasn't paying me for the portrait and Jillian and I were talking about it, she was saying, you know, this is an energy exchange, your energy for the energy, which is the money. And that's what was coming to mind for me when you were talking about it is, you know, you hired her for a certain exchange, and it's like she's sort of changing the rules and wanting you to play her mom or her big sister. And this is messing with your business because it's supposed to make life easier for you, not harder. You know, you didn't go out to adopt somebody. And I understand wanting to be kind and loving and understanding and everything, but maybe just having a frank conversation with her where, you know, you just kind of say, this is what I need. If you can do it, the job is yours. But if you can't, then, you know, I'll be happy to give you a reference to find something that's more appropriate for you.
Yeah.
Something like that. This is not fair to you.
No, yeah. Plus, I mean, mental illness or not, this is the world we live. You know, you have to go to work and you have to do your job. And if you don't do it, then you need to get help somehow. You know, if she can't meet the requirements of daily living, which is earning a living, then, you know, she needs to go get help from a psychologist or a psychiatrist or, you know, and like, if I'm just thinking, like, when you were saying that, like, if one of my employees, you know, just said, oh, I just can't come in, then somebody else, I mean, in my line of work, somebody else would suffer. It wouldn't be just me. It would be just, oh, I got to go do the job now. I couldn't. And somebody would be stranded without being able to go to dialysis or eat for the day or whatever it is that they do for them. So like, if you put yourself in just a business person shoe, I mean, you know, you are a business person, but I mean, in any other business, this wouldn't be okay. Because she'd be not just inconveniencing you and frustrating you, she'd be screwing up somebody else's, one of your clients' lives, you know. Yeah.
And perhaps it is because maybe somebody who is meant to see your post, who is meant to read your book, who is meant to be a client, you know, like, we never know. So it's just you standing in your integrity, not in just your love for supporting her, but in supporting all of the women that you are meant to support with, and this role is bringing them to you.
Yeah.
I love that you have such a wonderful heart, and I think that maybe the best gift that you can give her is being a little tougher on her.
Yeah.
You know, but I love that part of you.
Well, thank you. It's yeah, it's I want it to be a good experience, and I'm just trying to assess whether it's because I want it to be such a good experience. That's why I keep giving chances and doing this dance and all of that.
So if you body scan,
Oh, I'm
if
sorry.
you go back to when you were telling us her story about not getting in contacting with you, like kind of messing up and not doing those things, if you were body scan, like, where are you feeling that?
My stomach.
Yeah, loss of power, right? And it's that doubt, and it's that, like, your solar plexus is your power source. And so it's like she's pulling that power away from you, and your intuition is your superpower as well. Like, your heart and your intuition kind of work together. So it's like, you know, like, you knew, but it's like she's just pulling that power away from you a little bit.
That was my first thought, like with the Reiki healer, when she was like, you have a lot of like fear-based stuff, and my immediate thought, I was like, that is because of her. I already know it. I would be interested to see what it would be like without her, how it was kind of doing. But I was like, I knew it immediately.
For sure. And those things pop up when those are literally released. When they release that energy, the thoughts that come up are what she's releasing, because energy gets stuck in our body physically based on our emotions and our thoughts. So it's like, a lot of times if your solar plexus, because mine's the same way, when my Reiki healer goes to my solar plexus, her arm feels numb. Like, she's pulling literal weights out. And I think it also has to do with my fibroid and the energy of that. But at the same time is when she started channeling for me, she says, you take on burdens that are not your own. And that hits you in your solar plexus. And I was like,
Yeah.
touche.
Helpful.
Like,
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of I just have to be willing to let go, I guess, and not save someone I want to save who's not willing to save themselves.
Yeah.
Trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved is like trying to nail jello to a tree.
are you making up a story of like how she's going to feel or how this is going to work out because you may say goodbye to her?
No, I think it's just that I see so much of myself in her
Yeah.
that I think that her story is going to be like mine, honestly.
It may.
I'm like, oh, you have all the same qualities I do. I can fix the negative ones. It'll be easy because I've done it before.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you're meant to work with somebody else like that is ready to go and she's just not ready to go. She has more growing. Like this is her growth phase. Like I remember my Reiki healer too coming at me and saying like, you're actually blocking somebody's soul growth. I was like,
Oh.
what? Yeah. Oh, like why? Like I would never want to do that, but by taking on other people's burden, sometimes we do because they have to learn certain ways, which it's like super hard because we're teachers and we're empathic and we're lovers. Like we want to help everybody learn their lessons because like what better? That's our joy.
Right. All right. Keep us posted.
Yes, I will. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Like this was a long night, you guys, but we all had a lot that needed to come out tonight. So thank you all for hanging tight and supporting each other. Like that's what this is all about. And I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that you gave me this space at the beginning too. So I love you all. I hope you have amazing evenings. Let's touch base in the group tomorrow. Check in to see how everyone's doing. And just, we're here for you. Okay? Bye, babes.